Hello there, folks. It is a really nice autumn day today, but it isn't that warm, so I can do a balcony video. And since after all this in the middle of October, it's safe to say that the balcony video for 2024 is closed. But still I can do a really interesting vinyl video update. It was in the beginning of August last time, if I'm not wrong. So I've been finding some interesting stuff since then. And most of all, I've been finding a whole bunch of 45s. All of these. This is around 30 45s. And then I have also found a whole great deal of Swedish old slagers that I won't be showing now, because you will most likely not know a bit about these artists. Some of them, not even I know who it is. So it's been really a lot of 45s. So I will do this in splitting in two parts. This video will be about the 45s, and the next video that will be coming out a bit later on will be focusing on the full length. So let's start before this video goes too long. Starting with some jazz 45s. It is from a retro fair that they had 1 week before the regular record fair, that I of course won't be showing here because that has a video of its own. But the retro fair was a fair with the people were selling all kinds of video games, action figures, Funko Pops, and comics and so on, and there were some that sold records also. I managed to find a bunch of great jazz 45s for 50 cents each, and some of them are really interesting because I checked the value of it. Not often I do that, but this time I had to do it, and it made me go, Not this one, this is a regular one. This is Vinyl Hampton Quartet. It's released in 1956. I think all of these are from the 50s, so it's not it is not any big band swing. This is these songs, Airmail Special and Software. And now, coming to the interesting stuff here. This is Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers from a movie called Le Liaison Dangereuse, pardon my horrible French, movie from 1960, but the recordings are from 1959. And it is Art Blakey Jazz Messengers, No Problem, Miguel's Party, with this setting. And it also one track with Art Blakey and Barney Willen Trio. It's not all that huge difference, except for the amount of musicians in the band. But very interesting. I checked this on Discogs, and it was worth around $16. Tommy Flanagan Trio with Wilbur Little and Elvin Jones playing these recordings from 1957 in Stockholm, which explains the title. Skål Brothers, and skål is the Swedish word for cheers. And this is worth around $10. As is this, because now it is only Swedish jazz singles. Swedish trumpet player Jan Allan, Quartet, recording from 1958. And this was, as I said, only also worth around $10. This is now we're coming to a great quartet of singles. Quartet of singles with my favorite, one of my favorite jazz musicians, baritone saxophone player Lars Gullin. who played with a whole lot of the American musicians when they were here, because he never went to USA, because the American USA was a little bit scared that since he had a big drug problem, they were scared that he would be smuggling drugs over, so he was barred from coming into USA. But he became a big name here in Sweden, and this is Lars Gullin Quintet. These musicians and these songs. This was worth around $6. Lars Gullin Sextet with tenor saxophone player Rolf Billberg, among others. This is from 1955. Value around $10. As is this. This is more Lars Billberg and Lars Gullin in a quintet. Here with Danish musicians playing these songs. Also value around $10. And now we're coming to the interesting one. This is Lars Gullin and my favorite jazz singer Monica Zetterlund. In 4 songs. The first one called Med andra ord, in other words. This I listened to it, and it is really relaxing, really great, really smooth, with some of the strings, and really great. As I said, these 5 jazz singers I bought for 50 cents each. Value of this one was $67. So it might be coming a little bit high on the annual chart for best finding of the year when New Year's Eve comes. So extremely interesting, obviously. Now we're going to Vinylstallet, our record store here, and it is Vinylstallet for the rest, if I'm not wrong, but from different locations. This will be coming now is from an occasion where I found a little box with 45s that costed 50 cents, and then he said the man who owns the Vinylstallet, the record store, said that he had more in the back, and I could go in the back and search for among those that was costing 50 cents. And I found some really great stuff here. First of all, this is a Swedish one, a Swedish schlager, Anita Lindblom. I think I've shown her before. This is from a movie, a Swedish movie, a comedy. The reason why I bought this, not only because I think she is an interesting singer with a great voice, very mature voice, deep voice, is also because I wanted to get a hold of the first song here. This is a version of The Girl from Ipanema with Swedish lyrics, but it's called Beatles Bossa Nova. And it is in the category so hilariously bad that you just shake your head. She sings about how she is really wanting a Beatle member of the Beatles for Christmas. She describes her love for Paul, for George, for John, but Ringo is the cutest. Can't I at least have him? She says. Like the mailman would come with a huge box and Ringo Starr would jump up and say, "Surprise, Anita!" It's so really bad. So the other songs are normal, great Swedish lager, but this one I bought it for, so I'm really happy to find finally. We have another Anita, but this one with the name Baker. This is from 1988, giving you the best that I got. Some smooth jazz, soul. Smooth jazz I think is the correct genre title of it, but smooth jazz soul. More soul, we have Earth, Wind and Fire with System of Survival. Earth, Wind and Fire after the 80s, from the 80s and forward isn't really that interesting, but they have done some really great stuff, as the album Touch the World that actually is really good. Of course not in the same quality as the most classic ones, but this song from 1987 is actually good. Bananarama and Love, Truth and Honesty. Bananarama from 1988, so it's produced by Stock Aitken and Waterman. We have Stan Ridgway, Camouflage, a song that I think it became a huge hit outside of USA, I think. It's a really nice, almost country-like style. It is a song that I thought was okay, but nothing more when it came in the 1986. But nowadays, I think it's a really, really great one. Aretha Franklin from the Who's Some and Who album. Ain't Nobody Ever Loved You. And really, really nice. Really, really nice single. And we have a B-side called Push. That is a duet with Peter Wolf and with Santana at the guitar. Jody Watley, Still a Thrill. Jody Watley from 1987. So this is from the same album as Looking for a New Love, Baby. A New Love, which is the B-side of this in an a cappella version, or so it says, but it is a synthesizer sound going in the background, and to me then it's not a cappella, because a cappella is no music, only voices. Not Jody Watley's strongest song, but it is it's an okay one from her debut album. So I managed to find something as odd as 45s with the Danish piano player Victor Borge, who also was a big name in USA. He's famous for playing classical music and make a great deal of comedy with it. He's a really, really funny guy. And this is Victor Borge caught in the act, where he plays Phonic Function and a Mozart opera by Victor Borge. And we have Victor Borge, Satyrix, Liebestraum, and another Mozart opera. So I'm very happy to find 45 with Victor Borge. Of course I have full length also by him. We have Soul, some without proper sleeve. This is 3 Degrees and Jump the Gun with Falling in Love Again. And this is from the 3D album produced by George Moroder from 1979. And we have Atlantic Star from 1978. Let's Rock and Roll and Give Me Your Love. And speaking of rock and roll, Survivor. Not often I buy Survivor. Many of you think of Eye of the Tiger, and I feel like I'm so deathly tired of that one. But the song from the Rocky movie after that was a lot better. This is Burning Heart from Rocky 4. A whole lot better Survivor song. Maybe one of the best Survivor songs in my opinion. I'm not a huge Survivor fan. Some songs here and there, but this might be one of the best. Now a couple of songs in the category weird songs that are so stupid that it makes you laugh. This is a German group called AEV. Austrian group. And a song called Bank Robbery. I'm not going to say it's bad actually. It is a really catchy. It's extremely catchy. I like the production, but it is a really weird song about a guy who has trouble with money, and he decides that the only way he can actually solve this is to do a bank robbery. And of course he's horrible at it, so he ends with that he only opens a bank account in the end. But it is extremely cheesy, but at the same time so catchy that you can't help but smiling when you hear it. No money, no for nothing for Woofy and me. Here's another one that also are hilariously bad. This is really hilariously bad. This is a commercial single from the company called Europcar. The song is from 1900 and doesn't say, but it sounds definitely like the beginning of the 80s. The song is called "We Are the Super Service People." That has a slight disco beat that goes in the background, combined with a couple of people doing really horrible raps, especially the woman who tries to rap in English. It sounds so really stale. I can only think of one person who has been rapping more stale, and that is Carl Lewis. But extremely, and of course a really cheesy refrain to that. So right up my alley for my cult classic collection. Billy Ocean, Love Song. We're getting more serious now. This is from 1986. It's kind of a follow-up to When the Going Is Tough, and there'll be sad songs and so on. Now we're coming to the next part, where I managed to find stuff for 10 cents at Vinylstället. And when it's costing 10 cents, of course I can do a whole lot of risk-taking. Stuff that to be blind by, stuff that I have no idea what it is, but for 10 cents and a 45, you can take a chance, because you never know if you're finding something interesting that you might want to start to collect. Here I have been sorting out the Swedish Slager stuff, because you won't know what it is anyway. It's hardly that I knew what it was. But starting with Susan Pestbander. I have no idea who Susan Pestbander was. It sounds a little bit poppy, new wave, disco style, but it was really great. A really great melody, great sound. This one will stay in the collection. This one was bought in the belief that this might be so bad that it was horrible, but it turned out to be a whole lot better than I could expect. This is Santa Esmeralda, but I have no idea who it is. With Leroy Gomez. It is to assume that Leroy Gomez is the guy then. They do a version of Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood, the 60s song, in a really good disco sounding style. I thought it was going to be not all that good, but it's really good actually. And the B-side also, You're My Everything, a nice soft ballad that is really great. So this one stays in the collection. It's really good. classical music, we have Mozart, we have a piano sonata in A major, and we have Danish composer Carl Nielsen. For $1 I could buy some classical music on 45. I remember buying a great deal of classical 45s when I was younger in my teen years, but nowadays not so much. But it's nice to actually go back in time and start doing it again. And finally, I have two 45s that won't be staying in the collection because they were not all that good. First of all, Was Not Was, a band that I normally like, and I knew they had done a version of the song where Dad is a member of the band with Mick Jagger, or as it's known professionally, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, from 1990, but I didn't recall that it was that uninteresting. I think that the Temptations version is way better. So unfortunately, this won't stay in the collection. And the B-side, Ballad of You. Okay production, but it was a guy just yelling the lyrics. It was really bad. So on. Tim Renwick. I have no idea who this was, but at a stream I was learned that this was a member of Pink Floyd. I'm no huge fan of Pink Floyd, but I actually think I'd rather listen to another Pink Floyd song than this one, because he had an extremely weak and tame voice. He was singing a really, really weak and tame song with a really, really tame and weak production. It was like listening to Christopher Cross, but even worse, because Christopher Cross at least has some melodies that work. This one, bye bye. See you later. So that was the 45 I've been finding these past couple of weeks, or should I say months. The next time there will be a wine and seed update. It will be of the full length that I've been finding. Who knows, maybe I find some full length during the period from this video to that video. Who knows? But until next time, I hope that you really have a nice time. Like, comment and subscribe. And that you really have a nice time no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care and so long.